yes.
So that probably explains why some of the Lemba are Zhou, because that's a different language. It means the same thing, an elephant, claw.
Yes. If you go to Venda, like you say, they're Venda, they are called Ndo.
Yes.
They're called Ndo. Ndo is an elephant. Zhou is an elephant in Shona. Ndlovu is an elephant in Isindebele. But so in other words, the totem is an elephant. Yes. And there's a reason why it is and then remember, these are Jews, right?
Yes.
But now we find them having a totem.
Yes. And then to clarify further, the Lemba are not part of the Bantu groups.
We can say so. We cannot say so. Like
Bantu mannerisms because they live amongst the Bantu.
Yes. Like so, their origin is Semitic, but due to assimilation and adoption of or being part of a certain nation, they also had to adapt, or they also have to be part and parcel of a nation. So we can, their origin is not Bantu or African, but I don't think there will be any problem with classifying them as also Bantu through assimilation.
Yes.
Maybe through their way of life. Yeah, yes. We cannot. But through their origin, no. They are not. Yeah.
As you are speaking about way of life, they have a very distinct way of life. Can you give us a few examples of the difference between them and the groups around them?
Okay, you mean the Black Jews, or you mean Balemba? Like, okay, the Lemba. Okay, for example, the Lemba, due to the fact that they have been. Remember, I said they go back as far as Israel, meaning that they go back as far as Jacob being their African ancestor, right?
Yes.
So their movement from, we can say, present-day Israel until, let's say, South Africa.
Yes.
So they've been moving around, trying to assimilate. So they've been assimilating many cultures, and also retaining their own culture, which is Jewish, right?
Yes.
So because of that, yes. So they have got this mixed way of life. For example, they do not eat meat which is cut, which they do not eat meat whose animal which has been not cut by someone who is not part of their social group.
That is
so
like,
for them to eat
present-day Jews in Israel and other parts of the world, they call that kosher.
Yes, kosher. Yes. So that culturally, they only eat meat that has been whose throat has been cut by them only. Yes. So that is something that they retained. So they've managed to maintain that kind of culture. And then when it comes to circumcision, some of them they still practice circumcision, but usually the circumcision happens at later years, unlike the Jews, right?
Yes.
Jews they do it on the 8th day of after birth, but to them they do it in later years, like especially during the early years of youth.
Okay.
Just like Yes. So there is a question why some are saying is because they once were part of the Arabs who were in Africa. So like the Arabs, most Arabs were Muslims, right? Or they are Islam, or they are Muslims, and they circumcise. They don't circumcise on the 8th day after birth. They circumcise in later years, right?
Okay.
And then even the Africans, like the Bantu people, those who circumcise, they circumcise during the youth. And then another element, there are some who swear by Saiti. I don't know whether you know, since you are saying LM,
yes. I think that's one of the houses. They have 12. There are 12 houses or 12 clans.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So Saiti. So we were asking ourselves, what is this Saiti? And there is a belief that since they were once, they once were part of the Arabs, Maybe it's because of the fact that maybe they were all from the Middle East or whatever. But there's a time that we believe that they adopted some Arabic or Islam cultures or way of life.
They passed through the Islamic world.
Yes, especially through Kenya. Remember, Kenya, there is Zanzibar. There is Zanzibar there, and Zanzibar is the melting pot. That's where the most trade was. That's where there was most trade, and that is where we believe the Lemba could have met the Arabs, because Arabs were traders, right?
Yes.
And the Lemba and some of them they were, and some of the Black Jews, they were also traders. So Zanzibar, or we can say where Swahili was spoken, it was like where there was a lot of economic activity, and through that people had to compromise their languages and cultures so that they can understand each other. So there is Said. So there are some who, like I say, who say by Said, and Said is an Arabic name.
Yes.
You see. So now, Said is an Arabic name, and if you go back to history, we find that there was a time when there are some Arab Mohammedan refugees who fled to the east coast of Africa, and some of them later that the second group was the followers of Suleiman, which is Solomon in Jewish, Suleiman and Said.
Yes.
So there was the followers of Suleiman and Said who fled from Oman in 684 AD. And then the second group were the followers of Zaid, who fled from Yemen in 1720 AD. So we believe that somehow they intermixed with those groups.
Yes.
And to a point, which is where we believe that is where they got Said. Yes. So we have got Lemba people who use Said like who say by Said, but we say they are Jews at the same time. You see, and to a point that there are some people who now even think that the Lemba are Arabic or they're Arabs.
Yes.
Because they have got so many. Even the word Lemba on its own. Okay, we will talk about why they are called Lemba, but it is also associated with Arab, with Arabs. You see, So in Southern Africa, we believe that somehow they came with Arabic traders, but so because of that they have got Jewish, they have got Jewish way of life, and then they adopted Arabic or Muslim, and then they also adopted Bantu. So I have given you some examples here.
Okay, so why are they called Lemba?
Yeah. Okay, Lemba is a word, is an African word from Chilemba or Chiremba.
Okay.
So it means a tepen. Do you see a tepen?
Oh, that was being worn.
Yes. That was worn by the African Moors or by Arabs. So that is how they came. So it is true that when they came wearing that. So everybody who came wearing that was called. So the people called it Chilemba. I think it's Swahili or some African, but they are called Chilemba. And then it is also believed that they also wore that.
Okay.
In Isindebele we call it Ilembu. So the word Lemba, that is where the word Ilembu comes from. That's why we call it a cloth. Yes, that's why we call it a cloth Ilembu in Isindebele. It's from Chilemba.
Okay.
And they're also called Lemba. Yes, so it's a name which was usually associated with Arabic or Black Jewish traders, and it is also associated with being a foreigner. Okay. So there were mostly people who were traders. So we believe that
makes sense, because it's only the ones that are in Zimbabwe and South Africa that are called Lemba. But the ones that are in Mozambique and Tanzania are called something else.
They are called Basena and Bamwenye. Yes. Very, very true. Yes. So So the name was mostly associated with
the ones that are in Southern Africa, in the Zimbabwe and South Africa. Yes.
That is, I believe so. So it shows. And Arabs, there was when they were more like a group, something like that. Yes. And to a point that even some historians now, they're even now claiming that Lemba are Arabic, but there has been some DNA that has been done. Because the issue of being black and Jewish is now very, very, it's one of those hot topics now because of things like Black Lives Matter and stuff. So now people want to express, so now black people now want to express themselves. So there's been some DNA that has been done. And it was found that, some Lemba people, they've got Jewish genes, especially from the tribe of Levi. Yeah.
Oh, I see. You're talking about the Huwuba clan in South Africa that was tested, whose DNA was tested in 1996.
Yes. So it is because of that confusion, whether they are Arabic or are they Jews. But I think even with because we believe that they even interpret with some Arabs, we believe that. So they must also have Arabic. Yes. But definitely they identify themselves as Jews, and and then their DNA proves that. So and the other thing is the Arab issue was also associated with Great Zimbabwe, because now there are some people who claim that or who believe that people who built Great Zimbabwe and most of these stone walls were people of Arabic So people say no, it is the Lemba are the ones that we strongly believe that they had a great influence in the building of these stone walls, because Lemba they were very skillful masons and architects. Because whoever built those stones was a very great mason and an architect.
Yes.
And the Lemba were very good builders, and they were very good blacksmiths. They were very good in metal. I am going to talk about that as we talk about them being part of the Ndebele people.
It's interesting because wherever they say they were, because in their oral tradition, I understand they chart their movement from Israel to Yemen and further down to Tanzania, Mozambique, and in all those places, they are smaller versions of Great Zimbabwe or buildings like Great Zimbabwe in all those places that they say they've been. And they call them Sena. All those places have some link to Sena. I think that Sena is the one that's in Yemen.
Yes. So you see, So I'm one of those people. I'm one of the researchers who are highly convinced that those stone walls were built under the influence of the Lemba. I strongly believe that. Yes, I'm one of those people who believe that.
So how did they work with the Ndebele group, or how did they come to be integrated, or what was and how was their relationship?
Okay, the first group of Lemba, whom I can say became part of the Ndebele people, or became associated with the Ndebele people, are those that were mostly in Berengwa, right? Yes. So the Ndebele nation was, and they were nomadic people because it was a time of wars and those times. Yes. Yeah, it was a time of infection. Yeah, it was a time so they were nomadic people, but they ended up relocating to present-day Zimbabwe, in the western side of Zimbabwe. So the Lemba were already there. There are some Lemba groups or families that had already been assimilated with the local people there. They were even part of the local people in Berengwa. So those local
people that were in Berengwa at that time.
And like presently, we can say present day Karanga people, or we can say Kalanga people. Okay. If I can put it that way.
Yes.
Yes. People who identify themselves today as Bakaranga.
And before we go further, means it refers to the wars that were fought
Yes. I think I think it's a total of another day, but generally, it just means it's a time or a period when there were these endless wars that changed the history of Southern Africa. Yes, around early 1800s. Up until 1840, 1850, yes. Okay. So at that time, that is when, so they relocated to Zimbabwe in 1838 and 1840. So they found them there. They were already there.
In Berengo.
Yes. So they found them there. The first group, yes, they found them. The others who came later, but the first one, they found them there. And then, like as I said, that Berengo was under the sphere of influence of the Ndebele people. So people were there, they were identified as Ndebele people. Some of them were even allowed to continue speaking their language. Like as I said, that Umtwagazi is a nation of many languages, right?
Yes.
And it was very good for security reasons, because those people who are now speaking other languages, they could manage to penetrate other neighboring kingdoms or chiefdoms, and people won't even know that they're even Ndebele people, you know. So that is why So that's why the Ndebele identity is so complex. Some people were Ndebele even if they could not speak Ndebele, because of So it was more like being a military.
Sorry, under King Umzilikazi and the Ndebele nation, people were allowed to continue with their specific traditions, and they didn't force them to change and do nguni. No. People were not forced, but there were policies that were put that influenced how to the extent how much someone was going to adopt to this new. Yes. So Berengo was more of, it was in the boundaries, right? It was in the boundaries. So there were not many people who were speaking Isindebele. Okay.
So local people were not really affected that much when it comes to language and culture. And the Ndebeles, they used that to recruit, I can call them spies, if I can put it that way, to recruit spies who will go even further east, because so people will leave Berengo and go further east as if they are traders, but they'll be trying to gather information, and then they'll go and tell them to the Ndebele people. So people from in the east, they'll never even think that these are Ndebele people. So they'll just think, these are people that are under Ndebele's. Under the Ndebele's maybe paying tribute or tax, not knowing that these are Ndebele people. They are just military. They are in the military intelligence. You know, if you're in the intelligence, you don't go around telling people that, hello, I'm a member of the military intelligence. You know. Yes. So today, other people are so confused when you say this certain group is Ndebele. So they get confused because they'll say, but no, these people were like this during that time, you know, because you don't go, because you don't go around telling people about your national security. Yes. But everyone in Berengo today can claim to be Ndebele. Even someone with any surname, if you're in Berengo, you can claim to be Ndebele.
Okay.
You know, like as I say that, the Ndebele society is fluid. You can, if you want to, you can be Ndebele. If you don't want to, it is up to you. Okay. But that place was a place for Ndebele people, and some of the Lemba, because Berengo, especially Mwenes there, it was also a place for a place where Keke could go and graze during winter. Winter, yes. We call it Imilaka in Isindebele. Imilaka, yes.
All we had for you today. Thank you very much to Mr. Arnold Mayibongwe Nkala. Join us in the next session for part 2 of the Lemba, the Black Jews of Southern Africa. Thank you for listening.
Zingumasithi, zingifihlela